All right, guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Coach Tyler, and I wanted to talk about something today. A lot of you guys, if you reach my channel, you probably heard that you need to track your calories, your weight, your steps. You understand that what gets tracked gets managed. The issue is you download MyFitnessPal, you get in for 3 days, you're logging everything. The weekend comes, you forget to log once, and then you just fall off. And you kind of repeat that cycle every month. I'm going to show you guys that your approach is wrong, and I'm going to show you the right way to go about tracking. No more just downloading MyFitnessPal, setting up a goal, and just going after it until you fail. I'm going to break down step by step where you should start on your tracking journey. What I want to introduce to you guys is the tracking ladder. Think of it as a ladder or a pyramid where you start at the bottom with the simplest step and you work your way up progressively until you get to that point where you're tracking all your meals in MyFitnessPal and it feels like second nature and you're able to get those 50, 60, 80, 100 day streaks in MyFitnessPal. Level one, or the first level on that ladder or pyramid, is passive data. This is those Wi-Fi smart scales that as soon as you step on it, uploads to your phone. This is a step tracker where you keep it on your wrist all day and it tracks how many steps that you're getting. These things are $30 on Amazon. You can get a really quality step tracker. You can get a really quality Wi-Fi scale on Amazon for like $30 a piece. This way, you're now able to get two strong data points, both your steps and your daily weight, and it requires no lifestyle change from you. Now, you don't have to remind yourself to be on your phone. Literally, when you wake up, you go pee, you weigh yourself, and then you put your step tracker on, and then you track your steps for the day. So this is the first step. You do this for about 2 weeks, really start to collect data. A lot of people will be able to make good educated decisions on their fitness journey just based on these two data points. If you're weighing yourself every day and you're getting your steps in every day, and for 2 weeks, you can see, okay, my weight was stable, eating what I've been eating and getting 8,000 steps a day. I could potentially lose weight if I did everything the same, but instead I aimed for 10,000 steps a day or 12,000 steps a day. It really is that simple. So this is level one, basic passive data collection. Level two is going to be simple food structure. This is where you create a meal plan. You can either go to ChatGPT, Google meal plan. What I used to do way back in the day is I would open up MyFitnessPal. I would go ahead and just kind of log my proteins for each meal. So breakfast, I would put, eggs, egg whites. For lunch, I would put chicken, and for dinner, I would put salmon or something like that. And then I would fill in the vegetables, and then I would fill in the carbohydrates. I would take those meals and copy and paste them through Monday through Friday. I'm just checking the boxes. Yup, I ate this. Yup, I ate this. What this does is it means that you'll have a reduced number of decisions to make, which means you'll have a reduced opportunities for mistakes. So you're literally just following a plan. And at the end of the night, you're pretty much just saying, did I follow the plan or did I not follow the plan? Super simple stuff. That's why meal plans are so successful, because it takes that element of decision making out of it. You're just eating the plan. The next thing that you can do is a step above meal planning, which is having 3 to 4 meals that you can choose from and having those stored in MyFitnessPal. This is where you live for the majority of your life, is kind of in this place where you have your 3 to 4 meals that you have for each meal, and you pretty much rotate through them pretty seamlessly. When one gets kind of bored, you go into the next one. It also only takes 10 to 20 seconds to put together in MyFitnessPal. You save your recipes, click on, okay, I had my Greek yogurt bowl, save that, boom, it's in there. Next meal, I ate my chicken salad, boom, it's in there. Next meal, I had my taco salad, it's in there. And within 20 seconds, logged a day's worth of meals. That is where you should be at, is templated logging, where you are saving most of your recipes in MyFitnessPal, and I probably 80 to 90% of the food you're consuming is off of those templated recipes. And then step 4 and level 4 and level 5, these are where you're like, you don't have any sort of weight or fitness goals in particular around nutrition. You are kind of just living. For some people, I would do a minimum target. And so this place, you're pretty much eating anything just as long as you're eating your protein and your calories. Protein should be around 1 gram per pound of body weight. So I'm about 170 pounds. I should be eating around 170 grams of protein, give or take 20 grams. So 150, that's cool. 190, also fine. Same thing with calories. It should be around your body weight times 12, anywhere from 12 to 15. Thinking about me, 170, I'm around 2,000 calories a day. I think that's a good place to start. And so I'll go in sporadically and check and just say, okay, am I at this place? Once again, leaning heavily on my templated meals. So maybe that looks like breakfast, lunch, and snacks are part of my templated meals that are my go-to meals. I know how much they are. I know how easy they are to make. And maybe for dinner, I go out to dinner. And the only thing I'm really checking for is, okay, am I around my calories and am I around my protein, within reason? That's kind of level 4. That's where most people are going to end up once they've reached their fitness goal or once they've reached their nutrition goal. And then the last one is monthly audit, where you're not checking your calories at all. You're still eating your templated meals, those 3 to 4 meals that you're rotating through, that you find easy to make, that don't use a lot of mental energy around making decisions for. And you're sticking to that. You're going out, you're eating, you're drinking maybe a little bit, but once a month, once every couple weeks, you might take an audit day where you're going through and you're saying, okay, what did I eat for the week? And is it in line with what I was eating when I was tracking my calories every day? So before I was eating, 2,400 calories. Now I'm eating 3,000 calories. Okay, let's step it back. I'm clearly overeating. And so that is the 5th level. And that's when you're getting out into that maintenance world. When people are saying, oh, you don't have to track for the rest of your life. That's what they're talking about, is you should still have that monthly audit week where you're tracking your calories and seeing if you are in line with what you say you're doing. You should be spending a few weeks in each one of these zones. A few weeks at level 1 where you're just tracking steps and weight. Spend a few weeks eating off a meal plan and having a binary checklist at the end of the day. Did I eat what I was supposed to eat? Yes or no? Have a few weeks doing your rotations. If you're trying to lose weight, focus on getting into level 3 and staying at level 3 until you've reached your goals. Tracking all your calories every day, but within the templated meals 90% of the time. And then once you've reached your goal, you can move on to levels 4 and 5 of the tracking ladder. Your sustainable success path is getting passive data first, collecting that, making decisions off of that. If you aren't seeing results fast enough just off of tracking your passive data and making educated decisions, then move on to the next step, which is building out a meal plan, following the meal plan. Once you get to the point where you feel you're able to make success without following a rigid meal plan, focus on rotating in some templated meals and tracking those instead of just the foods on your meal plan. And then after you've reached your goal weight or your goal physique, I would move on to level 4 and 5, where you're either just tracking your protein and your overall calories or not tracking at all. And then once a month, doing a monthly audit week where you're taking a look at everything that you've consumed for a week and seeing if it aligns with what you were doing before when you had a calorie or protein goal. So I hope this video helped. Like I said, I'm an online coach. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out or comment below. I read all the comments, and I hope to get back to you in the next video.